Right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who were here in the morning before lunch, you heard from a whole number of brands, number of companies that have become success stories like Splash over the last 25 years. We're now going to take a look at success stories in the present and what hopefully will be the success stories of the future. We have a whole bunch of companies and brands that are going to be presenting to us. But before we call them up on stage, I'd like to introduce our jury. Biju Kurian, Strategy Board Member at El Capitan Asia. Biju, stand up, wave, bow. There we are. Debashish Mukherjee, Partner and Head Consumer and Retail at A.T. Kearney. Dr. Amrit Sadachar, Auburn University. Dr. Sushil Rathuri, NIFT Mumbai. Joseph Leftwick, Director of Retail Management Consultants. Martin Nordlund-Yenen, Partner and Director at Monelli Jewelers. Dr. Anne-Marie Fiore from Iowa State. And Dr. Linda Neum, also from Iowa State, also on her. Oh, perfect. That's our jury, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to start by talking about the most profitable design concepts. The way the session is going to work, finalists get to present a 2-minute AV, and that's followed by 2 minutes of Q&A with the jury. So to start off with retail concepts, let's have Adidas here to talk about the home court store at Express Avenue Mall in Chennai.
Hi, I'm Priyanka Arundekar. I take care of visual merchandising for brand Adidas and Reebok for West and South region. Today I'll be presenting to you guys the concept called home court, and we are taking Express Mall Chennai, Express Avenue Mall Chennai as an example to show you what home court means to us. So before we go into the presentation, I would like to show you guys a quick AV on how the store looks like and what the concept is. So quickly moving on with the photographs of the store. So this is the tunnel that gives you a feel like you're entering a stadium and how an athlete would be feeling before just entering a stadium. That's the window that you see that talks about the seasonal concepts that we launch probably every month or 45 days. That's the women's section as well as the young athlete section, which will produce the future athletes for India. That's the training section that contributes maximum to our apparel business. That's tennis and athletics, running, football. That's the Originals SIS inside the store. These are the footwear walls. The biggest thing about this store and the best part is the 3 elements that we have tried to incorporate within the store. These are the experience zone, the print shop, as well as the lounge area. So there is a mini stadium inside the store with 3 on-site football game, and it's not only for consumer, but it's open to all. Anybody can come and play here, and they need not buy from you, but we still give them that experience and get them closer to any sport. Also, there is a print shop inside the store that can give you a customized jersey of your choice within 30 minutes. All the materials for which are imported from Germany, and the execution happens at retail. And that's the lounge. Thank you so much.
Biju?
How many stores do you all have like this? Is it really one in Chennai, or do you have more?
So home court as a concept is quite new to us. It's just come to India last year, and we have started rolling out all new stores in this concept. But this is one of the biggest home courts in India. There are many more in other key cities and smaller cities as well.
Is it an international concept which you have adapted for India?
Yes, it's an international concept, but it's manufactured, the fixtures are manufactured in India, which we've cracked recently.
Thanks, Biju. Thank you for that. Sorry, you wanted to?
Can
Yeah,
you
go
also
ahead.
throw some light on the profitability part of it?
Yeah. So we had a smaller store in this mall earlier, which used to do 25 lakh rupees a month as AMS. But since we have launched the new concept with all the other experiences, the store started doing 80 lakhs a month. And it is one of the 5 top stores in India and the best store in South region for us.
Could you please just comment a little bit on, obviously there are some really innovative components to it, but how does that differentiate you from your competitors, and who are your key competitors?
So with this particular concept, we are getting the consumer closer to a sport. So when you enter a store which has this concept, near the footwear area, we have a center court. We have fixtures which give you a feel of sitting in a stadium. So they feel more connected to sport through this concept.
Right, I understand that, but comparing you to your key competitors that sell similar products, how does this differentiate you? Are any of the others also doing experiences? How does this differentiate you?
If you're talking directly about Nike or other competitors in the market, they also have concepts similar to this, but their stores are specifically to one concept. They have running concept doors, they have football concept doors, but we have tried to incorporate all experiences in one.
Thank you.
I think I did well in the second go.
You
with
did
the
very
timer.
well.
Thank you so much for your
jury,
time.
the jury
Thank
was
you.
the one that went over time. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Bata with their red concept.
2 minutes remind me of making a Maggie. So I'll just do less of talking and more of showing. I'm proxying Sandeep Kataria, who is the country manager for Bata, and he's recently joined. So I am just proxying him. Okay, so this is red concept. What we are looking is to bring the swagger to Bata as a whole piece, not only merchandising, but the visuals of the store and also the other marketing bit. So this is just a evolution. So we talk about the product is king, and we do all the activities around product is king, where we want to showcase our product in an easier way so that the shoppers can easily see and choose, and it will be in the less of time, and the consumption of the time taken to show the product is half of the what we have been doing past years. So we have opened the store. 5 stores have been opened in High Street and the mall. South City is one of the East India biggest store, which is 10,000 square feet, which we have opened. This is South City Mall. You can see the elegance of the store from outside, which is more inviting, and also at the same time, it is bringing the swagger to Bata, which is the core strategy. This is the heritage wall, which we say that we are traditional but yet modern. You see the cash, it's totally different than what we have existing stores. This is the power wall. We are going to take power in a big leap, now going forward in next 3 years. So the inspiration comes from Italy. So we have already done the stores there, and it's a good global concept now. What we are going to do is making 100 stores next year, which is current 2018. So this is the concept which we have taken the inspiration from global and implemented and executed in India. Okay, so this is the result.
For a new concept like this, which is red concept you're talking about, have you also done some change in the merchandise, or the merchandise remains the same?
In my first Gayatri Mantras, this is product is the king. So we have done the product, we want to announce it, but marketing is doing that, but we have to really showcase the product in an environment which is more friendly, which is more inviting. So that's where we red concept comes into the play.
How many stores have been done like this? Sorry.
Yeah, 5 stores have been done,
5
and we are
stores.
going to have 100 stores in this year.
These 5 which have used the new concept, are they existing or new stores?
No, existing as well as new.
And you said in terms of performance standards, which you define, what are the benchmarks, have they met all? Because I saw somewhere it's below and somewhere it's above. Sales was above, but footfalls were below.
Yes, in some high street and mall cases, the behavior is little different. So what we have seen, whatever we were doing like to like earlier in the store, which were renovated in the new concept, have grown by the footfalls, and the ASP has grown automatically by 10%, double-digit growth automatically, without changing too much of the merchandise, because merchandise we were already having. We changed a bit with the seasonal launch, but at the same time in the mall we see there is a higher increase, more than 15% jump in the ASP. So overall, the footfall in the mall, what we think that it is going to be taking a little bit of time, because mall takes time. South City has just reopened, so that's why maybe that is not the testing waters on the South City, but in High Street we have done.
Have you done any impact of brand image measurements in terms of how the brand is being perceived now versus before?
Absolutely. We are going to, right now there is a litmus test going on these things.
So nothing completed as of
So
now.
it is 4 months. We have just seen the journey in last year, which is when I'm saying calendar year. So it is too early, but yes, whatever the net result, what we have seen is the higher growth.
Sorry, I think we have one last question to ask.
It was a very polished store, but I didn't catch the idea of swagger. Where's swagger in this whole concept? Could you point that out?
Yeah, so swagger, basically what we call the aspirational, the fashion quotient, which was traditionally, which was not there in Bata stores. People used to say that I used to go to Bata store. So now what we are, the young generation, the X generation and the millennials, we want them to come to our store, and not only as an aspiration, but also they get along with the family and buy something for them, so that we have a lot of offerings to them, and that's why product is the king, bring the swagger and offer in the lesser of the time. That is the whole measurement.
Okay, thank you, Bata.
Thanks.
Next up.
What I see is that jury, in some of the presentations, jury is asking too many questions. So the jury has to decide, is it because of the presentation is great, whatever they are presenting? So we have to be fair with everybody, the same number of questions. But if the jury thinks that the presentation is great, and we need to ask 4 questions for that, so we have to decide on that. Okay, so do we decide that jury can take the liberty to take ask more questions wherever it is required? Then we are not restricting the question time to 2 minutes. No, but in this case, the jury time for the questions were 4 minutes.
Okay, can I suggest something? Let's leave that open, depending on the presentation. Basically, I think he just told you all to shut up. I wouldn't take this if I were you, okay? You're the jury. You're the goddamn jury. Do not put up with this crap from Roy. No, so we'll start with a 2-minute buzzer, even with the jury questions. If we feel there are situations where we need to continue, as we did with the last one, we will. Fair enough? I'm not asking anyone's opinion. I just decided that. Okay, next up, Shazay, please.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're from Shazay. We're based in Bombay, and we're ever growing. So let's just begin.
Bold is the aura you weave, drawing them into your world as you make the unremarkable extraordinary. It's the spikes that mark your territory, that make you elusive, yet desirable. It's the armor that keeps them apart from you, but always waiting to see what you do next. Bold is the flash of confidence on your neck, the element that's both timeless and surprising. It's the boundaries of your world that you make and break, because it's your world alone, and they're just the supporting actors. Bold is Shazay.
Great. All right, so we're Indian customers. We're customers of the world. We all want to self-express. It's simple. We want modern aesthetics. At the same time, we want to be trendsetters. We're not followers. We're done. We're millennials. We're not millennials. We don't care who we are, as long as we know who we are. That's where the central focus of Go Bold by Shazay. It's about making a statement. So what we did was we created statement necklace pieces, and I promise you, these were star pieces, not heavy, each one handmade, made by individual craftsmen over here and designed and styled. Something like the spider necklace over there was actually hand cut and hand folded into a web. We had beads like rubies used in, along with artificial beads, etc. All right, what does it do for the customer? It's simple. We don't want to be invisible. You want to stand out, and you want to show the world who you are. And what better way to garter yourself than a pair of accessory? So what we did do is create a campaign that had UV makeup.
Thank you. Can I just suggest, since you guys can't see each other, so you don't know who has a question coming up, can I play referee? So do one question, and if there isn't someone else who needs to ask something, continue. Otherwise, I'll move it on to the next jury member. Fair? Okay. Who's up first?
How many stores do you have? How many stores do you have?
Well, we've got at present over 20 stores all over India, and excluding the shop-in-shop stores, the CSIS stores everywhere else.
Okay, and how well are those stores performing, if you don't mind a second question?
Well, I think we're surviving today's market, and we're going to trendsetters of the world. We just did collections and collaborations, so I think somewhere along the road, we're doing the right thing, and that's why we're standing firm today over here.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Biju?
The category is most profitable design concept. Is this a product design concept, or is it a retail design concept, or is it a VM design concept?
Well, sir, it's all three, because we had to renovate all three things of ours.
Okay, because
Number
we
one
only
was
saw some few products.
Correct.
Never saw stores nor VM.
Sorry, but the video took a little extra time in there. But
Okay,
if I looked at the stores, we had in-mall branding where you saw those images over there. We actually had a backlit stores covered in that. If you do live in Bombay, I'm sure you would have seen the hoardings all over. We had these hoardings which were put with UV lighting to up the edginess of it. So it was, why just restrict yourself to the product? Earlier before, I think I had my managing director over here who said, it's not just about the product, it's about the complete experience that we had to offer. So hence we offered it everywhere.
Yes, I had a similar question because I didn't get a sense of the essence of the store. So you're a multi-channel operation, and also I'm asking you to clarify that. And where are you located? Are you located within a mall? Are you a freestanding
We're located
store?
within malls. We're located at heritage properties like Colaba, right by the Gateway of India. At the same time, we have our standalone stores in Bombay, in Delhi, in Pune, in Chennai, at the Palladium Mall as well. So yeah. Thank you.
Shazak. Next up, we've got Lifestyle with the live stories mnemonic.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Akash. I'm here to represent the VM design concept for Lifestyle. Could we have the video, please? video that you just saw was an experience of what you would have felt if you walked into a lifestyle store during the festive period.
What's your competitive advantage over similar formats or your competitors?
Sure. So Lifestyle is a fashion department store. And our obvious competitors in terms of sizes and the number of stores would be Shoppers Stop, Central, and the other likes. So the competitive advantage is that VM gives you a distinctive differentiator of how is it that the customers relate to your store vis-a-vis the experience that they get, the kind of excitement and the innovation that you bring across to the customers. And it eventually boils down to the increase in the overall footfall that you have at the stores. So there is a marked increase in the footfall that we have during the festive and the interaction, the people interacting with those like button and stuff. So there is a marked increase in those interaction levels.
What is unique in the VM features? I mean, it looks like your normal stores.
Sure. So if you see, if you look into the video, we had the kinetic displays. Now, kinetic is one of the latest technology worldwide into lights. It's a synchronized play of lights along with the sound. So that is something that we had at 13 select doors, where we had this latest technology imported into India, and we played it. Nowhere else in the world has somebody done kinetic across multiple doors. So that we had across 13 key marquee stores. Apart from that, we had lighting mnemonics, the same feel that you have of a gifting box that you had. Same thing was replicated in terms of a lighting mnemonic which was hanging there in the ceiling, bringing across the feel of gifting and of lights, which are very, very directly linked towards the elated feeling that you wish to have during a festive period. The level of finishing and the quality, the finesse is of a separate standard altogether.
What did you guys do before you had this?
In the previous season, it was basically the static windows. So this time on, we have gone very, very dynamic. So the level of attraction and the level of traction that we had from the audience was was of a different level altogether. So earlier, when the windows, on an average, in a day, we had about 300 likes. So when we did this particular window, the engagement level was more than 1,200 in a day. So more than 4 times the engagement of a normal window.
Okay, I'm going to continue that for one more question there, please.
Okay, I think you mentioned already about footfall, but in terms of what you measure and degree of impact and actual results and payoff so far, what have you noted? And
So in
what have
terms
you
of
tracked?
footfall, at that particular period, our footfall growth over last year was only about 1%. But in the malls that we did the kinetic, which was about 13 doors, and wherever else that we did the dynamic motion of the charkha with the lights radiating and other stuff, wherever we did this high impact displays, the footfall increase was up to 8%. And as I already mentioned, in terms of those like button engagement, the average response that we get is about 300 likes. But for this display, we got up to 1,200 likes.
Thank you, Lifestyle. Next up, we've got Being Human.
Hello, everyone. I'm Saloni Saraf here. I'm here to represent the Being Human store at Seawoods Grand Central at Seawoods. So I'll quickly take you through the store. The store is 2,500 square feet wide, one of our third largest store in India. Because we have such a great space, we try to take a concept of a 2-story under-constructed building and using the concept and inspiration from the entire French windows, which was during the French War. If you can see, there is, you can have a ticker on this, like the light. Sorry, just the light. Can I point something? So if you see the windows, there's a story of drawers here that we've done. This is part of our heritage wall that we always do in all our stores. These are the different category walls that we have. What we've done is we've used different wood and grass elements, but trying to give it different feeling of different stores when you walk down the shopping streets of France. Here we have created a rustic feeling with water leakage feel to it. Here I wanted to point out that we've used a wooden panel and a pavered wall, and the gazebo we fit into the pavered flooring to give it a French street style shopping experience. We've used grass, suspended grass ceilings, and not hidden the wire just to give it a very under-constructed feeling. Here I want to point out 3 different elements. So this is a cable reel that we've reused. These are the barber chairs that we've reused with denim patchwork. And this is the different, like a staircase that we've tried to mount on the wall to give it a feeling walking down the French shopping street. Okay. If you can see, this is the entire a panoramic view of the store where you can see French windows and the balcony, this thing.
Okay, I'm going to let you continue 30 seconds since you had to wait for the pointer. You're done. Oh, wonderful.
You just mentioned about some customer experience. Can you throw some more light on the customer experience? What type of experience you're giving there?
In terms of customer experience, we do not have any technology in the store, but we've played around with the look and feel of the store where we've given it the French window experience, right? What we do is that this is one of our unique concepts. We've never really experimented with this concept in any of our stores. We have more than 60 stores in India and more than 500 point of sales globally. But this was the first time that we tried this store concept, and it really worked for us in terms of the feedback that we got from the customers was really good. Like they actually came and they were pretty wowed about it because of the high ceiling wall and the entire big space that we had. It really gave it the merchandise, the way the merchandise were displayed with different category walls, the panels that were used were all very different, right? So the store representatives have given us that the customers were really wowed about it.
Thanks. My question is, how is this design concept connected to your brand?
In terms of a
especially
brand,
the whole French part, etc., is it connected with your brand at all? Yeah,
no, so what is connected with our brand is the fact that we use recycled material. So we've used recycled barber chairs, recycled cable reel. Our wall is grass. We used a lot of refurbished wood. So that's something that's part of our brand concept stores, which if you go in any of our stores, you'll see the grass ceiling wall, the grass ceiling, the grass walls, the wooden flooring. The Being Human is made from refurbished wood. So those are the different concepts, but the French window was just a different concept to give it to the store because it was really big and we could really play around with the concept. That's it. It's okay.
You said that you received a very good feedback from your customers.
Yeah.
In terms of the impact, in terms of the sales revenue, did you see any changes?
So in terms of impact, for sure. In terms of revenue, I can say in terms of numbers, we've been profitable since day one in terms of operation cost. We are top 3 brands in the mall itself in our category. And yeah, is there anything else? Have I missed out?
Okay, thank you, Being Human.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Raymond Shop with Techno Stretch.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Avanti, and today I'll be presenting to you Raymond Techno Stretch Fabrics Retail Innovation Story.
People today want to shift to smart television, smart watch, smart work. Then why not smart fabric? With this spec being key to driving brand equity, Raymond was set to introduce for the first time ever Techno Fabric, a smart product with 4 unique properties: UV protection, water repellency, easy care, and natural stretch. This naturally stretching Techno Fabric was set to launch in the spring-summer season of 2017. Hence, an addition of a new variant had to be experienced hands-on. We kicked off the awareness drive by associating with the biggest sports event of the country, the Indian Premier League, with key inserts during programming. But this campaign needed something more, something different. With an insight that seeing is believing, we identified demonstration critical to excite consumers for walk-ins to experience the fabric. We focused our might to demonstrate 3 unique features of the collection: the comfort, the stretch, and the technology at various media touchpoints. The Raymond Metamorphosis Window, a one-of-a-kind initiative where contemporary dancers perform live behind store windows, demonstrating the collection and unique comfort it offered across 650 flagship stores. Top RJs demonstrated different stretches on social media, asking consumers to share stretch selfies, which gave them a chance to lavishly tour their city in a stretch limousine. This made the word stretch play on our consumers' minds. Further, to emphasize the technological superiority of the fabric, we developed an innovative game where consumers experienced stretch using their minds. An engaging virtual reality mind control game where two competitors fought to pull a miniature techno-stretch suit using devices that use the mind's power to move. Let's see how well the campaign was stretched to reach the consumers.
Happy to take your questions.
So I'm assuming that you are talking about the product innovation in this case as in fabric.
No, this is for retail innovation. While the product was innovative in itself, but the way we activated at the retail stores was the most critical piece, because reaching the consumers, telling them the story about why the product is innovative, and then having that kind of a growth in sales for our stores was, I think, for our brand very phenomenal. So this is about retail innovation.
You mentioned a number of 85% sales growth.
That's right, sir.
This is what, for this category or for the store as a whole, or for the month in which all these stores were there? What exactly is this?
So so in all of it actually, and I'll give you figures on that. So 85% what we are mentioning is actually the period that we did. It was a month-long promotion. So so month on month is what I'm talking about in terms of sales. We also saw techno stretch fabrics. Actually, we saw consumers walking in, asking for techno fabrics. That was very different.
My clarification is about the sales. So you're saying the same month last year versus this year, there was an 85% growth in total sales of the store, which also included techno stretch. Is that right?
Yes. So techno stretch fabrics we grew because we had it in the store as well. So techno stretch per se fabric also we grew, as well as the store revenues we grew, both.
Sure.
Yes. So my question for you is, so when you look at menswear overall, at least in the U.S. where I'm from, they have struggled quite a bit. And as you look at your designs, I mean, they're more classic blazers, et cetera. So was this really an innovation from top to bottom? You have the techno fabric, but you had all these customer experiences. But before this, were you just kind of a standard menswear retailer with suits and sport coats and that sort of thing? So this is a cohesive approach? Go ahead.
Yes, it was a, number one, it was a 360-degree touchpoint campaign that we did.
Right.
And Raymond has been a traditional brand since 1925. Right, and we've been selling fabrics the traditional way. Mm-hmm. But this is something, in terms of the live window, what we did activated in the retail stores was very innovative, not just in our category, but across brands. Okay. And actually, the performers were wearing our techno stretch fabrics. So it kind of demonstrated that they can do a split in the fabrics.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we've got Mintra.
Okay. So this is the story of Roadster and a collection called Freelander, which changed it all for the brand.
There's a gap in the world.
A space waiting to be filled.
Most people never find this life, but for those who do, it's a perfect fit. So, are you in?
This is a product collection that you've launched.
Yes, Biju, yes. So Myntra Roadster is one of the largest brands. It's a digitally native brand. It just has one store as of last year. This is the collection which actually turned it around, where we've actually become very profitable, 40% gross margin, 15 crores worth of turnover, 60 days in terms of 60% of the collection sell through. And I think to try and do that on an e-commerce platform and to do that in the depth, as well as to come out with a brand proposition which actually worked to not only from catalog, but from the brand promise, especially even the brand campaign, and bringing it all together to actually deliver those results. I think from design as well as the collection part of it, it really worked for the brand. That's why we are highlighting this as one of the most innovative concepts that we've actually put together. And do remember that this is completely on e-commerce.
Who do you think are your competitors and how are you different in terms of this product category?
Well, in the jeanswear category, I think, means you name it, almost everyone's out there. But do you actually have a millennial brand out there which is actually connecting to the free spirit of the road, actually about travel? That's very few today, and that's what we actually connect to. This is a completely on digital, and it's a customer who is normally at the age of around 18 to 20, 25. He's urban and semi-urban, but more importantly, he or she connects to the spirit of actually going out there. One of the biggest road campaigns we had was while you're stuck in traffic, the road is waiting, and that road was Leh Ladakh, right? This is what a roadster guy would actually be doing. And that's about trying to take that through to the consumers.
Okay, thank you, Myntra.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got the Raymond Shop with Mini TRS.
Hi, everyone. I'm presenting Mini TRS concept, which is tapping opportunities in emerging retail markets.
एक दिन जब मैंने अखबार में रेमंड शॉप के लिए ऐड देखा तो मैंने उसी टाइम एप्लीकेशन लगाई और ब्रांड ने मेरे को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दी। आज मैं रेमंड शॉप करके बलों में बहुत खुश हूँ।
उम्मीद से अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स मिला है। अभी तक जिस कस्टमर को कानपुर 100 किलोमीटर दूर जाना पड़ता था, अब उसे उसी रेंज में औरैया शहर में वो सब चीज़ें उपलब्ध हैं।
Wishing the Raymond team all the best for giving us such a lovely concept.
In a regular store, we need to invest around 125 to 150 lakhs. If I need to open a TRS, I need to invest around 150 lakhs. But these are the towns in which I'll not get the returns. These stores, I need to invest only around 40 to 50 lakhs. This is the opportunity which we tapped. We say that we are around 1,225 towns with a population above 50,000. And we are present in 420 towns. So we have seen an opportunity here.
Yeah, just for clarification's sake, since there were two Raymond Shop entries here, Mini TRS, how is that associated with the Techno Stretch that we just heard about?
Both are completely different.
Completely different?
Completely different.
Same company, but different unit?
Right.
different.
This is the innovative business model.
Different
This is
business
innovative
models.
business model.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Pedro?
What is your payback period for a mini TRS?
2 years.
And
We're
how does
promising
it-
around 45 to 50% returns in the year 1.
And how does it compare with the TRS?
See, as I said, TRS, the break-even sales are around 150 lakhs we need to do. These stores need to do only around 40% of the sales. And the investment what is required is around 1/3 of the investment required in TRS.
Since you're working with consumers in smaller communities, are there elements of the design that you had to think about? And could you express some of those special details that you thought about in designing this space?
Honestly, in the class 4, class 5 towns, when I look, there is no organized retail. I'm the first one. But at the same time, I would like to give the same experience what they will get in any metros. We consider the same ethos what we'll have in any store. We carried that, but at a lower price points. The only thing what we have worked on furnitures, which are more modular. Where the store takes actually 120 days to launch a store, here we can do in 30 days. That takes care of a lot of dead rent.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have W.
All right, thank you. In this campaign, we had promoted 4 main key looks, the statement workwear, signature all-day dress, the perfect fusion look, and the urban social style. And we promoted the same through our store windows and main focal key points and easels and all. So this is what all we did.
So this was actually a product display run through the stores. Is that what you're?
Yeah,
what is it that you're presenting? Is it a collection that you're presenting, or are you presenting VM which reinforced a certain product collection?
Campaigns VM, like this
Campaign.
was the campaign and VM. How we promoted the same campaign through VM.
Okay.
What about the payoff or the result of these campaigns?
As we promoted 4 key looks, like all-day dressing and all-day dressing especially, like which anyone can wear from morning to evening, from brunch to office to like she can go with the same dress with her friends or something. So especially those dresses, those articles moved out like very well.
I still don't get it. Is it the color of the clothes, or what is it you guys are selling, doing?
Sorry, I didn't get
What is W?
Concept or what?
Concept, a store concept.
Yeah, this is it. Was the campaign, main marketing campaign, which we promoted through our VM store, like store VM and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, W.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
We're moving on to a collection concept next. And we've got the Raymond shop with Raymond Techno Stretch again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kishore Bhatia, presenting the concept of Techno Stretch. This is product development. India, this is the one of the unique product where all the opposite properties have been added in the one fabric, like stretch with water repellency, UV light reflection, moisture management, easy care, at the end the soft and innovative touch. I think all the fabrics in the all these properties in the one fabric. I think that has changed the entire look of the product. And after TechnoSmart, in TechnoSmart, it was we got very good response. After that, this is the next extension of the series. TechnoStretch has been really a very innovative concept, and where unique fusion of design, development, and the creativity has been put together. And we try to combine all the different properties in the one fabric. So all these are the features. So in first year of the launch, we have done the business of 80 crores. So I'll just add here, generally when you talk about the stretch, people think stretch means the fabric made with the elastin or the lycra or something. This is the fabric not only with the elastin stretch, but the natural stretch is also there. And how do you measure the elasticity? How will you measure the performance of the stretch fabric? It is by how it is elastic recovery is, I think, is the more important, how it comes back to the normal shape.
Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Hi, Kishore.
Yeah, please.
Here. What was the investment in this? I'm assuming you all are doing some bits of the manufacturing or the process. Yeah. The 80 crores, whether it is good or not, commensurate with the investment. Can you talk about that, please?
So, okay. When you talk about the investment, we always believe in the investing in the technology, in the future technology. So we at Raymond always work for what is the next, what is likely the next trend. So here, when you talk about investment will be on the part of research and development, designing the right product, coming out with the right collection which is relevant to the today's consumers. So market survey, getting the inputs, and developing those type of things. Those types of investments are there. With respect to technology, I think we in-house have got the lot of expertise in our at Raymond, so we could able to develop this product at the very minimalistic investment.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm asking about the numbers. What are the investment numbers?
Investment number will be about 3 crores.
Okay, understood.
This is R&D cost. I will suggest that.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next up, we've got Bata with Pata Pata.
Good evening again. This is Ankur Kohli. I am now representing the merchandising team. So we have the success story, 5 lakhs, 500,000 pairs sold in last 1 year, and it's at $500. So here is a success story.
Indian culture has inspired countless collections, and one such is Bata's Pata Pata Masala range of premium flip-flops, offering a stunning ensemble of tribal motifs and folk patterns. For centuries, feet in India were revered, worshipped, and decorated with love. The light and airy flip-flops were the preferred footwear for millennia. Pata Pata reimagines the shores of a billion and creates a style statement.
Every line, every curve of the Indian art form tells a story. Folk or tribal, nothing evokes the glory of the Indian culture more than the vibrant colors and the motifs of the native patterns. Our masala range showcases authentic designs from the rich heritage of India. Pata Pata is very excited to revive the traditional designs and make them a part of the lives of the urban young.
Pata Pata is reviving traditional patterns with exclusive design stories. A new collection each season introduces a slice of India to the urban young. Pata Pata's success rests on the magical mantra of design, quality, and marketing. Design evoking vibrant stories. Quality that generations have trusted. And marketing's commitment to engage customers with an effective 360-degree communication, not just limited to the stores. Campaigns included advertisements in fashion magazines, online contests, product-centric posts, PR activations, fashion events, and radio contests with popular RJs. This translated.
How do you measure the success of this collection?
When we bring in the new customers, A. B, when we see there is an additional buying, the 1.5% to 1.75, the UPT, which is unit per transaction, we see this is impulse buying. So this is the key measurement. It's not a planned buying. Phone 99, it's not a planned buying for many. So this is we measure 500,000 pairs sold is another measure which we.
So can you give me some revenue benchmarks, because the rest of it I don't understand. Can you tell me how many crores it sold, or what contribution did it make to the total sale, or what contribution did it make to the category, or something like that which is more measurable?
We did that in 2 quarters in last year, and this category, which was of flip-flops, we are the pioneers in India. So we have grew by 1.2% only because of this range. So, number one. Number two, what we are looking at is no cannibalization of the other product which we are already having. So we think that this category can grow this year by another 30%, but it will take more of SKUs, more of designs, which comes from the Indian heritage. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, Bata.
Thanks.
And finally in this category, we have Will's Lifestyle.
Good evening, Umaid this side. What I'll do is we don't have an AV, but I'll quickly take you through the concept that we have. What we looked at, the reason the concept came into existence was we looked at, if you look at the market today, there is a sea of sameness. What you see from brand to brand, what they offer is the same kind of a clothing and other. There are not too many things that register in a consumer's mind. And also brands, you're doing season by season collections. You aren't creating a property that a brand can own and a property that can differentiate a brand from the other brands. Also another, if you, the way you look at, there are seasons 6 months and 6 months. While a consumer today in a fashion industry wants to see something new regularly from every 2 months or a 3 months point, then what we looked at is we said, what do consumers know of? One of the things that we have is the elements of which every person is made of, every brand is made of. So we created a collection which was the elements collection, which was using all the elements of nature, and we created a collection that came into the stores every 2 months. So every 2 months you had a new collection which came into the store, which was inspired by an element, which is, so if you look at, I don't want to play the AV. So we started with the water collection, where there was a lot more inspired by water, what the life that water provides us. So we created a water collection, which was a lot more like that, a small capsule collection for men and women. Which was then followed by an earth collection, inspired by a lot by earth, the elements of earth, the nature, whatever you do. So we created that collection, particular one. Then we had another collection which was, so lots of visual merchandising and other things that we did, digital and other media. There was an AV and there were all those things that were done to promote it. Then around the festival period, because festival Diwali is all about diya, lights and others fire, we came out with a collection which was the fire collection, inspired by fire. And therefore every garment that you had, and it was not just fire or a diya or a put together, the elements that we can do.
Okay, thank you, Wills.
Yeah, which was then followed by a space collection and others, and which we want to continue repeating. We had sell-throughs and others for those looking at the numbers.
How do they compare with the other collections that you've launched?
So if you look at our season collections that we have launched, we would look at a sell-through which is about 50-55% at the end of the season. If you look at these, and those collections are a lot more priced at a medium and others. Most of these were linen collections that we had, where the price on average was 3,500 and 3,200 rupees. And we had sell-throughs which are 70%, 65%, 80%. So we had almost 20% higher sell-through on products which were priced a lot higher, almost 1,000 rupee higher than our regular range.
And in terms of the total revenue between a standard collection and this, how does it compare?
This is a small collection. So this was an year where we introduced it. We want to try the sample. So it will not match. Also, our idea is to do a freshness every 2 months in the season. So it will never replace a season collection. But it maybe the season collection will become smaller and we'll continue putting these smaller collections on a every 45 days or a 60-day period.
Yeah, can you help us to quickly understand your positioning in the marketplace and who are your key competitors? Who is it that you're, with all these multiple collections, give me a succinct statement on who you are.
See, we are giving it a new statement. The brand Wills is right now in the process of recreating, rebranding ourselves. But we wanted to do a lot more saying that, can I do it Mother Nature, Earth, sustainability, and do something which is, stays with the consumer. Because once I buy a garment and go out, what's the story that stays with me? Consumers don't buy into just a garment, they buy into a story, they buy into an emotion. This is something that gave them a story and an emotion to connect.
How come if you sell, was it 1,000 rupees more per?
More than what are existing. Most of these were linen shirts.
Why don't you escalate this?
Pardon?
Why don't you escalate these collections instead of only having a season?
We don't want to do a bigger collection. We want to bring a freshness in the store. So we will keep repeating it. The moment you do a lot of it, see what has happened today is it's fashion and personalization. I want to wear and I want to have something which the other guy isn't wearing. And that's what fashion is. That's why I stand uniqueness as. The moment we make these as bigger stories and bigger collections, the uniqueness from these will go out. So I want to have it a lesser for some people and do it. And a person should come to the store saying that, oh, if I don't come now, I'll miss this particular collection. Therefore, you would ensure that people will keep coming again and again to your stores.
Okay, my question is, how do you know this collection is making a difference? Because the sell-through can be high if you produce less as well. And you said it's a small part of the collection. That's why this question.
See, one is that what we did apart from loyalty, targeting our loyalty program and digital, we didn't spend money on advertising otherwise. Windows, VM, digital and all that is what we did. And there are customers who came and asked for the collections and we had a sell-through which is happening. People appreciated. Also, there's a brand imagery that went with it. People went and said, oh, there's something different that the brand has given. Therefore, I mean, more than the numbers and the value and others, I think it's the emotion and the association that do with the brand and the willingness in, oh, you're going to give me something different, I will come back to the brand and again. So I think the connect that we made with the consumer for us was far more stronger or more reason than saying that, okay, the rupee value or the others that we do. So it's given us a platform which we can now build on it and make it a lot bigger in the seasons to come.
Okay, thank you, Woods Lifestyle.
Thank you.